Hey! Yeah, you.
Me?
What are you doing? Play your NES. Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Yeah?
How about you get the new SNES Classic Edition with 21 built-in games, including the never-released Star Fox 2. Yeah, you better play the Super Nintendo. The SNES Classic Edition, the sequel to the NES Classic Edition. Now, I don't have the box right now, but it came with this awesome poster that I'm going to show you. And the NES Classic Edition also came with one, it's just that I didn't show it. And to be honest, I'm not too big of a fan of the SNES Classic Edition's poster, and I much more prefer this poster because it's, well, better. But anyways, SNES Classic Edition itself, of course, it's very small, and like there's these hidden controller ports right here, and these are the exact same ports you can use on the NES Classic Edition, so use those controllers. And of course, it uses HDMI and DC input, just like the NES Classic Edition, so you can use the same cables, which is what I'm using. Of course, it comes with not one, but two controllers, which is funny, but anyways, this thing has a selection of 21 whole games. And of course, just like the NES Classic Edition, you can sort them into different categories or whatever. But I'm just going to go by title. And of course, it also has the same different things like manuals, little notices, displays. And not only do we have CRT filter 4x3 and pixel perfect, but we can also have different frames, which I'm all for. I like the wooden TV one. It's my personal favorite, but I'm just gonna do the normal black backdrop. So of course there's the settings, and the languages, and then there's legal notices and all that legal bull crap. And then of course there's manuals, which you'll have to go to the website to see. Of course there's suspend points, and believe it or not, you can rewind by pressing X and go to different times. Like you can pause and go to a certain point in time. But let's just go on with the games. Contra 3: The Alien Wars. This game is a really hard game where you have to shoot things. It's basically like Super C, but in 16-bit. Which of course means better graphics, and I don't know about many other people, but the controls feel much better. But of course you have to move on. Donkey Kong Country. It's basically a new platformer with Donkey Kong with sick looking graphics for the time. Huh. What do you know? It's the prequel to my favorite game of all time. And I know in the Mario review I said Earthbound was my favorite game of all time, but I've been changing opinions about Mother 3. But I'm just gonna say Mother 3 is my favorite game of all time. So Earthbound. It's Earthbound. You walk around different places, you talk to people with funny dialogue, you have battles. I mean, what can I say? It's Earthbound. Next, we have F-Zero, which is a really, really fast-paced racing game. Not as fast as the future entries, but still a pretty fun game, and for some reason it was only single player, which I find kind of weird. Here we have Final Fantasy VI, which was called 3 in the West due to weird localization issues. This game is your standard typical RPG that you would find nowadays, and different from other RPGs, it has like a real-time battle system where you don't wait until the enemy hits you, it hits you whenever it wants to, which is kind of cool. And of course, yeah, you have battles, and you walk around and stuff like that, and story, and I'm just not a Final Fantasy guy, you know, but I may get more into this game. Then we have Kirby Superstar, said to be the best Kirby game in the series. I honestly do not agree with that statement. I think there are much better games in the series, but I mean, hey, it's your opinion, and it's just a Kirby game with like any different mini games and different ways to play, like Spring Breeze, which is a remake of Kirby's Dream Land, and then there's this, and like there's Gourmet Race, which I lost. But anyways, another Kirby game, Kirby's Dream Course. It's basically just mini golf with Kirby. I'm not honestly a big fan of this game, and I'm not alone with that statement. Why couldn't they bring some other Kirby game, like Kirby's Avalanche, or how about Kirby's Dream Land 3? That was a really good game with a cool art style. What a man can dream. Next up, we have Mega Man X, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a big fan of the X series. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the classic series. I've beaten most of it, just need to beat 9 and 10. I don't know what it is about X, I just don't really like it. I mean, it's a really fun game, don't get me wrong, and I love the new, like, wall thing. But moving on. Secret of Mana. This is another Square RPG, where instead of a strategy battle system, it's action-based. Kinda like Zelda. But we'll get to that in a bit. Now we have Star Fox, a really cool-looking polygonal space shooter on the Super Nintendo. How interesting. Now, this game has aged pretty poorly due to its graphics, and I'm just not a fan of space shooters in general. So, Star Fox 2! This is the game that was never released in anywhere, ever. The only way you could play it before the SNES Classic was with an emulator or a reproduction cartridge. And, I mean, due to my lack of not liking space shooters, I'm not really a big fan on this game. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's good, but just no thanks. Now we have Street Fighter 2 Turbo. You gotta remember that. It's basically just Street Fighter. What else do you want me to say? Next we have Super Castlevania 4, and I gotta say, this game is so good. Probably my favorite Castlevania game. And yes, I like the classic Castlevania games more than the Metroidvania or Castoid or whatever you call it. It's just so good. And you don't have stiff controls anymore. You're so free and you can use the whip in so many directions. But we just have to get to, of course, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, the sequel to Ghouls and Ghosts, which was a sequel to Ghosts and Goblins. And you know what I think of Ghosts and Goblins? But Super Ghouls and Ghosts is actually a pretty good game, not gonna lie. It's like if Ghosts and Goblins just got a 16-bit makeover. And I gotta say, it's actually kind of decent, actually, not gonna lie. And here we have Super Mario Kart, and I gotta say, this game's bad. Yeah, I'm just gonna say right there and there, it's just bad, I don't like it. I mean, you can get some fun out of it, but the controls are so bad, and there's not much in the power-up selection either, and the race is just, I'm not a big fan of this game. Not gonna lie about that. Next up on our list is Super Mario RPG. It's basically Mario, but an RPG by Squaresoft. Or Square Enix, as they're known now. Woohoo. Okay, Super Mario World. Now, I wanted to do a review of this game at some point in time, so I'm just gonna say, it's good. I love it. It's amazing. Next up, we got Super Metroid. It's basically Metroid, but easier, and you actually have a map, so you don't feel like a mouse in a maze as much. Anyways, it's kind of hard and get lost all the time. Here we have Super Punch-Out. It's like Punch-Out on the NES, but in 16-bit. Many question why this game was on the console, and I'm honestly happy because this is a really good boxing game. Moving on, we have Zelda: A Link to the Past. Some say it's the best Zelda game of all time. And personally, I like Breath of the Wild better, but I mean, hey, what are you gonna do? It's still a really good Zelda game. Then we have Yoshi's Island. Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. I'm just gonna say it right here, right now, I do not like this game. I just think it's overrated. I mean, yeah, it has good graphics, has some great music, but it's honestly just flawed in the gameplay department. And just in my honest opinion, I'm pretty sure the reason that a lot of people just like it is because of nostalgia. I mean, of course, that's what I think. I mean, who knows? It may be just a wrong piece of garbage. And, well, that was the SNES Classic Edition. Well, see you next time with Super Mario Bros. 3. Also, never watch this video right here ever.